Hello, today I'm going to go over how to write a class. And it's something that the classes are something that we've been using throughout this course. However, today we're going to learn how to actually make a class of our own. So let's get started. Objects perform specific tasks. Your book talks about the components of a car as an example of a class. I like to think of classes as variables that can both store a wide variety of information and, most importantly, manipulate information to create a product. Objects can generally do two things: store data in class fields, a field of data, and or perform operations on data. These operations are known as methods. We have used classes several times so far in the course. We have used the scanner class to read user inputs. We have used the printer class to write data to files. We create classes to provide a service to the main class of our program that's not provided by something that's built into the Java API. So, a class is a code that describes a particular type of object. It specifies the data that an object can hold, the object's field, and the actions that an object can perform, the object's methods. Like your book says, you can think of a class as providing a general outline or a blueprint of an object. Throughout Chapter 6, your book creates a rectangle class. That class provides the building blocks of what a rectangle is made of and produces products like area when the program prompts the user to provide the definition of the object in the form of length and width. Each time we call a class and create an object, we create an instance of that class. For instance, when we create a scanner object named keyboard, we assign it the name keyboard and a memory address or addresses. The reserved word new is used to describe a new instance of a class, in this case, the scanner class. The same can be seen here using the random class. In this example, using the printer class, you can see the string numbers.txt or text representing a file directory name and a location being passed as an argument to the printer class and a new object output file being created. The Java API provides plenty of built-in classes. In this lesson, we are going to create our own class named money that will, for now, add money to the bank account balance. All right, so what we have here, we're in the IntelliJ IDEA, right? And your book talks about a way of creating a class, and that's one way of doing it, using a compiler generally. I like to use IntelliJ because it's a very intuitive system, or a very intuitive integrated development environment. And so because of that, I use that to teach my courses. So what you're going to do is go into your project area, and you're going to select your project, and then you're going to hit that drop-down menu, and then you're going to hit your source file. You're going to drop that down as well. Then your particular package, you're going to drop down your package, and this is what your book was talking about, importing packages. So we're going to select our package folder, and we're going to select file. We're new, and we want to write a new Java class. So again, you're going to select your project, select your source file, select your package file, and hit the drop-down menu, select the file, click on new, and then go over to Java class. You want to name the Java class money, and it pops up as a new Java class that we want to we want to write our code in. So let's go ahead and write some code in here. So first thing we want to do is we want to create a private variable. That means that it's a variable that cannot be used outside of, or cannot be manipulated from outside of the class code, which is a good thing because we want to protect and hide our data. And we'll make this this variable double, and we'll call it balance. And we'll use this balance variable throughout the class code. And we're going to make a method, and we're going to call this is a constructor. It's a constructor. We'll talk about what constructors mean later on in the module. But constructors basically are a method that's automatically called whenever an object is created. And in this case, we're going to create a constructor that just initializes the variable balance. And we don't necessarily have to do this, but it's this is something that I normally do just to as good practice and to keep track as to what's going on in my class that I'm creating. So this method will be public. We'll call it money, and just like any method, we declare it as such, but it's a no argument method. And we'll say balance is equal to 0.0 since it's a double. All right, the next method we'll declare is, we'll call this method money. And this method will take a string. And we'll call this string start balance, or the local variable start balance. And all we will do is we'll take from the argument a string and place it into the variable balance, whatever the value is into the variable balance. But it will be a string, so we have to parse that string into a double. And so we want to say we'll say double dot. We'll take from the double class a method, parse double from a string into double, and place it in equal to balance. Next, we'll want to create a value returning method, and that value returning method will be public as well. It will return a double, and we'll call that method add money. Now, what we'll do with add money is we'll say that the method will take a string variable, or a string input, and we'll put we'll declare that the string will be named more money inside of the method add money, and we'll say balance will be plus equal to. We'll actually just say it's a double, and again parse double more money. So we'll take the local variable more money, and we'll parse it into a double and place it inside, add it to whatever balance is. So more money is declared up here, and we take it in as an argument from whoever calls add money, and then we'll return balance. So now that we have our class written, we can actually use it in our main method. So here we're going to have to actually call a class that we've used in the past. It would be the scanner class. So we have to import its package from the utility folder, and then we'll also go ahead and write code that creates a new scanner class. So just as we normally do, scanner keyboard. You don't have to use the word keyboard. It's just a preferred word that your book uses. However, you can use any word you want to represent the object that you're creating. And so we create that object by typing new, so that the reserved word new, scanner, system.in. And so that creates a new scanner class object. And so we'll go ahead and type system out that print line. What is the starting balance? And from there we can say, we'll go ahead and declare a new money object. And we'll say here money. So we're saying the money, out of the money class, we'll declare object name money. And we'll say it's a new money class object. And then we'll take the object, whatever the import is, we'll say, or whatever the user prints net or types next, we'll say dot next line. And then we'll go ahead and say print. We'll system that out. I almost fell back into my my Python print and then parentheses. A lot easier. Print line. How much more do they have in your account? Or we'll say, how much more do you have in your account? And what we can do is just do system.out.println. And what we're going to do is we're going to use a format. Actually, we'll go ahead and format this string. So printf. And when we printf, we'll go ahead and we already know this is going to be money. So it's going to be a 2 decimal place position, 2 decimal places worth of precision. So we'll say, again, use the flag for the %sign .2f, and then we'll go ahead and use the money object that we created up here, money, and we'll say money dot add money, and we'll say keyboard dot next line. And so what we've done here is we've taken whatever you started out with, or you set your balance here, and we called the money method, and we said, hey, we want, say, we put in whatever the amount is, it goes to the money method, inputs the starting balance, boop, string, and the money class will convert that, or the method within the money class will convert that string into a double and place it into the local variable balance, or the private variable balance. And then we want to see what your account is, or actually we want to put down how much do you want to put in your account, and then it'll output that amount. It'll output that amount when the user inputs how much do you want to put into your account. It'll go back, that string will go through this method called add money, go to add money. It'll add whatever the amount is to balance. It'll also return what the balance is, and you shoot it out into here, into the print format method we called here, and it'll format the return, which will be a double, into a 2-level precision flow and float notation number. So let's go ahead and try this out. Let's try this method out, or this program out, and I want to start the balance at 100. How much do I put into your account? $10. And it prints out $110. So hopefully that was useful. And hopefully you guys saw how when you can create a class in IntelliJ, 2, what the different parts of the classes are, and 3, how you can call the different methods that you created inside of that class and put it to work in your main method. Now, that was a lot of work just coming up with this project in my head. All right, it would have been better if I actually created some type of diagram, a blueprint of how exactly I want the money class to work. And so that's what we'll talk about next, is how can we diagram out the money class? And we're going to use something called the Universal Modeling Language to diagram out the money class and diagram out how you can build classes, not just in Java, but also across the various programming languages. But we'll focus on using UML, particularly for Java, in the next lesson.